Have you ever heard that phrase, be your own bank? It's this idea that you can take back control and manage your money in the same way that banks do. Today, we're going to dive into how this actually works. And get this. According to our source, this isn't some new financial trend. It's a strategy that's been used for centuries by some of the wealthiest families in history.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful claim, right? This isn't just some modern financial hack. It's a system reportedly used by the absolute giants of finance. So, what's the secret? Well, to be the bank, you first have to really understand what a bank does with your money in the first place. All right, so at its very core, a bank's business model is incredibly simple. They need us. They need you to deposit your hard-earned money with them because that's the capital they use to operate. Once your money is in their hands, they put it to work, but they put it to work for them. The math is actually dead simple. You deposit your money, and maybe you earn, 1% interest if you're lucky? Then the bank turns right around and lends that exact same money out to someone else for a car loan at 6%. That 5% difference between what they pay you and what they earn, that's their profit. That's called the spread. So just how big of a deal is that spread? Well, according to BauerFinancial.com, banks are making somewhere between 400 and 1,300% more on your money than you are. Yeah, you heard that right. It's an absolutely staggering figure. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if you could be the one to capture that profit for yourself? So let's just do a little thought experiment here. If we could design the absolute perfect financial account, our own personal bank, from the ground up, what features would we put on our wish list? Okay, first up on the list, we want solid, reliable growth. So let's give it a guaranteed interest rate that's locked in for life. Then let's throw in an annual dividend on top of that from company profits. So in a recent year, you're looking at a total return of over 5 or 6%. That's a pretty fantastic start.
But hey, this is our dream account, so why would we stop there? Let's make all of that growth, the interest, the dividends, all of it, completely 100% tax-free. And for security, let's make it a fortress. We'll make the money inside basically untouchable by lawsuits, judgments, and liens. Total protection.
And what about getting to your money? You need access. So let's say you can get to about 90% of your cash value whenever you want. No hoops to jump through, no questions asked. And for the long haul, when you pass away, the money goes directly to your loved ones tax-free, without getting stuck in that long, messy, and public court process called probate. Now for the real kicker, the one feature that sounds like it breaks the laws of finance. What if when you took money out to use it, the full balance back in your account kept earning interest and dividends as if you never even touched it? You'd literally be earning interest in two places at once? I mean, that sounds impossible, right? So, let's recap. We've just designed this incredible financial machine. It's got guaranteed growth, major tax advantages, ironclad protection, total liquidity, and this unbelievable feature of uninterrupted compounding. It absolutely sounds too good to be true. But what if it wasn't? What if this magic machine is actually real? And here it is. The vehicle that has all of those contractual guarantees and features we just talked about is a dividend-paying whole life insurance policy from a mutually owned insurance company. Now, hold on. Before you click away, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. Yeah, the second I say whole life insurance, I'm sure alarm bells start ringing. You've probably heard all the financial gurus on the radio say it's a terrible investment. And you know what? For a typical off-the-shelf policy, they might actually have a point. But what we're talking about here is something completely different. This is probably what's going through your head, right? We've all heard that you should keep your insurance and investments separate. But just think back to that wish list of features we just built, that perfect account. This is the vehicle that actually delivers on all of them. So what makes this specific type of policy so radically different? Here's the secret sauce. It's not a normal policy. It's a contract that is specifically engineered to be built backwards. Its primary purpose isn't the death benefit. Its primary purpose is to act as your personal bank. And that one structural shift changes absolutely everything, especially how the agent gets paid. Just look at the commissions. On a typical policy, for a $10,000 premium, the agent might make $5,500. But on a policy designed for banking, that same premium pays the agent just $387. That massive difference is money that goes directly into your account to start building cash value, not into the agent's pocket. Okay, so let's circle back to that feature that sounded impossible.
the uninterrupted compound interest. How in the world does your money keep growing even when you're using it somewhere else? This right here is the engine that drives the entire Be Your Own Bank concept. Here's the secret. You don't actually withdraw your own money. You take a loan from the insurance company, using your cash values simply as collateral. And that is the absolute key. Because you're using their money, your money never leaves your account. It just sits there, compounding year after year. You use the loan for whatever you need, and then you pay it back into your own system, just like you would with any other bank loan. And this is where you get to create your very own spread. Your entire cash value is earning compounding interest. Let's call it 6%. That means you're earning interest on your interest. The loan you take out is charged simple interest, maybe 4%, which is only calculated on the original loan amount. You're earning more than you're paying. And because of the awesome power of compounding, that positive spread in your favor just gets larger and larger every single year. Now, if you're still skeptical, if this still sounds a little too clever, our source has one last really compelling piece of evidence. It turns out the biggest fans and users of this exact strategy are the banks themselves. It's called BOLI, which stands for Bank-Owned Life Insurance. You see, banks are legally required to hold a certain amount of their assets in ultra-safe, guaranteed places. This is called their Tier 1 capital. And what qualifies as a Tier 1 asset? Well, there are really two main things: U.S. Treasury bonds and, you guessed it, whole life insurance. And they don't just dabble in it. As of 2019, the top 5 U.S. banks held a combined $75 billion in BOLI. To put that into perspective, they hold more of this critical Tier 1 capital in life insurance policies than they do in all of their real estate, all their buildings, all their land, combined. Which really brings us to a final thought. The very institutions we trust with our money are using this exact tool as a cornerstone of their own financial stability. So, if this is how the banks themselves choose to secure their own future, it really does raise a powerful question for the rest of us.